You know, if I'm over halfway done in this novel, over halfway done, but I'm gonna have to take what I'm doing out of the computer so I can have some room. All right. Okay. I'll read back a little bit. Allahu Akbar, shouted Yusuf Yasser, driving the van with all full throttle toward the desperately shooting cop who was the first on the scene. Screeching to a stop within feet of the cop, Yasser leaped out of the van, held up the yeah, screeching to a stop within feet of the cop. Yasser leaped out of the van. What? He didn't screech to a stop, shouted Yusuf Yasser, driving the van with full throttle toward the desperately shooting cop car who was first on the scene. Uh, within feet of the cop. Within feet of the cop. Within feet of the cop. Yasser leaped out of the van, held up the detonation device, and pressed the button, rattling windows for miles around when the van exploded. When the cloud lifted, the shooting cop was nowhere to be seen. The Muslims, now in two cop cars, were shocked to see that Yusuf Yasser had survived just by hitting the ground. He got amazed and incredulous that he had survived. His ears were ringing and hurting, but he survived. Alhamdulillah, he shouted with excitement and joy. No one can stop us. Allahu Akbar, shouted the Muslims with excitement. The van had exploded 40 feet from Yusuf Yasser, yet Yasser had survived unscathed. The explosion of the van made the cop cars stop in their tracks. They started up again and slowly, cautiously approached the scene. Mahbub turned to Ziad and said with a smile, "Are you sure you're in doubt about Allah now, brother?" Yusuf smiled a heavenly smile and said, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. He then walked confidently over to the police car Ziad was sitting in and told Mahbub to scoot over. Move over, brother. I want the drive of glory into Jannah. Ziad Jabir looked scared and said, To where? Yusuf Yasser began reciting the same words the Muslim trucker recited before blowing up the DOT station. Muhammad Ziad Jabir started looking about in a panic. Yeah, started looking about in a panic. Yeah. He knew what that meant. Suddenly, the cop car that was commandeered by Mohammed Thayer Thakia pulled up next to the cop car now under the control of Yusuf Yasser. Wali al-Din rolled down the window and said, It's a good day to die, brother. I can taste the heavenly fruit right now as I speak. Are you ready as we are to enter Jannah? Yusuf Yasser stopped his recitation of Quran 38, 39, and 111, saying, I am, brother, and I think I can feel my penis becoming palm tree sized. Hearing that, Ziad felt sick. He made an involuntary move toward the door handle. He did not want to die. for something that was now sounding really stupid and crazy to him. "Let's go out shooting," said Mahbub. "Do we have all our guns loaded?" As they checked, all Ziad Jabir could think of was how to get the hell out of there without them turning the guns on him for being a possible apostate. We go out in blaze of glory, brother," smiled Thayer Thakib. "Maybe some of our brothers will see our great faith and turn on the Kafir cops like our brave brother cops did for us 20 minutes ago." "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Thakib. It doesn't matter, Thakib," said Yasser with a look of ecstasy on his face. "It's better to get the virgins now." A booming microphone from one of the cop cars shouted out, "We have you in our sights. Get out of those cars and turn yourselves in." Suddenly Muhammad Wali al-Din shouted out, "Allahu Akbar." The wheels of the cop car started spinning, but being that they had on snow tires, the car began to take on speed. It sped faster and faster toward the line of cop cars. Wali al-Din and Thayer Thakib started shooting every gun they had into the direction of the lined-up cop cars, shouting "Allah is greatest" as they made their charge. "Fire!" shouted the cop car over the speaker. A hail of bullets rained upon the windshield, shattering what was left of it and what had survived the firefight between Muslim and non-Muslim cops. Some of the stray bullets shot out the window of the cop car Yusuf and the two others were in. Hitting Mahbub in the shoulder and grazing Ziad's cheek. Thinking that the two Muslims might have a bomb in their car, like there had been in the van, the bullets continued to tear into it even after it stopped. Wali al-Din staggered out of the cop car, shooting at the ground, oblivious to the fact that his arm was riddled with bullets. By the time he hit the ground, 20 bullets had blasted into him. Even after he fell, his lifeless body was jerked about as the bullets kept on coming, just to make sure he wasn't wearing a bomb vest. When the shooting stopped, the cop car on the speaker shouted out, okay, next." Ziad Jabir made a gulping sound, and his face turned pasty gray in color. Mahbub was gasping for air, moaning in pain from the bullets that barely missed his main artery. Ziad now looked like a cornered wild animal, desperately searching for an escape. Yasser smiled and asked to his fellows, "Ready?" Mahbub gasped out in pain, "Brother, why don't we turn ourselves in? Remember, Sheriff Jamal, he is in charge of this chapter." Yusuf Yasser smiled and said, "Yes, he certainly could. Yes, he certainly could." Ziad continued in a near shout with great fear in his eyes, nearly crying out, "Yes, brother, he could! He could! Why kill ourselves for Allah if Allah can use us later?" Brother Ziad Jabir looked through the glass partition that had many bullet holes in it from the firefight. Half of it was now gone. Ziad suddenly saw a blowhorn sitting between